Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. Froggy's got a frog in his throat today because I'm getting a cold. I'm not feeling that good, but I got to do a little work on the car, and I wanted to put up a video for you. One of my pulleys is squealing, and it's either this one right here, which is the tensioner pulley, or there's one on the other side that's just another pulley about this size. It just changes the direction of the belt. But I'm going to show you how to take the pulley off, how to inspect it, and I think if I can get the grease seal off, I'll show you how to lubricate it so you don't have to buy a new pulley. So let's give it a shot. First, it's a 15 millimeter. I've got a crow's foot. I like those because they don't slip off when I'm doing this, and I've got a breaker bar. So what you do is put your crow's foot on there and lean in with your breaker bar, and it takes the tension off the belt. See that? See the tension's coming off the belt? Then you just flip the belt towards your breaker bar, and I'm going to need two hands to do that, so I'll have to put the camera down for a second, and then the belt is off. The wrench being over here is blocking the belt as you move the belt that way, but you can get enough of the belt off so that when you release that tension, the belt just kind of sits out here, and then you wiggle your wrench off, take your crow's foot off, and the belt falls down there. Now, here's my pulley. Even if it doesn't squeak when you're spinning it like this, it might squeak when your motor is spinning it, because your motor is going to spin it much faster. This one, I can't feel any grease in it. You should be able, when you spin it, it shouldn't spin very long. It should only, maybe spin a quarter of a turn at the most, and then it should stop because of the grease resistance in there. I feel some looseness and some lack of grease, so I'm going to take this off. Now, to get this off, you just go the other way from just, lefty-loosey to get it off. Let me get my two hands. Put my socket on it just so you can see what I'm doing. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so I'm just taking this off. It's got a little cover on it. See that? Little cover there. And we'll put that right there. And it comes right off. I'm going to take this over to the bench. I'm looking at the belt also to check to see if there's, if it's worn out or cracked or anything. The belt looks good. Whenever you're checking for a squeak or a squeal, you want to look at the belt and the pulleys. And I also I spun this other pulley that's down there. It's hard to see. It's got a belt laying on top of it right there. It's directly below the throttle body. It's not the crank pulley, but it's a directional pulley. It's not directly below. It's a little more to the driver's side. And that one feels about the same as the one that I got off the tensioner. So I'm going to probably pull them both and grease them both and see if my squeak goes away. You're going to take a curved pick tool like this and very carefully get under the inside lip of this seal. This one's red. It could be different colors maybe. And that way you're going to be able to lift it out without damaging it. I need two hands. You see how long this keeps spinning? See that? That means this doesn't have grease. It shouldn't spin like that. So I'm thinking this might be my issue right here. Now there's another little plastic piece that holds in Well, I guess it holds in the ball bearings in there. There's my seal that I took off. It's just a piece of metal with some rubbery edges to it. I'm going to see if I can get this other plastic piece out. It looks to me like this plastic piece that's inside the other plastic piece probably separates the ball bearings so that they don't bang up against each other, they stay separated. And I think if I pull that out, I am going to, the ball bearings will be loose. Although they might not fall out, but I think they'll rotate around freely. So I'm thinking I might leave this in, and I might just pack some grease in around there. Now let me talk a little bit about grease. There's a lot of different kinds of grease, just like there's a lot of different kinds of motor oil. This is a high speed, not really high temperature, but medium high temperature. Temperatures under the hood can be 200, 300, 400 degrees. Near the headers it can be 500 or 600 or 700 degrees, I bet. So it has to withstand heat, and it has to withstand high spinning forces. Now it doesn't have to withstand high pressures, which would be a different kind of grease, but you need a special grease. There's one from Redline that I like to use. I don't have any right now. And what I'm going to use is regular ball bearing grease. And if it works, then I'm going to take it apart again and put some of that Redline grease in. There's also a grease that one of my buddies told me about. It's green grease. It comes in a bucket, or it comes in a tube like you would put in a grease gun. And it's full synthetic, as is the Redline, full synthetic grease. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to pack some grease in here without taking that other plastic off. Well, I took the other side off, the other seal off, and there you go. Now I can really see the ball bearings. So this is good. So I don't have to take that one off, because I can see the ball bearings and I can pack them real good here. It looks pretty dirty in there. I think I'm going to clean it up with some brake cleaner. When you do that, you want to be careful. Do not spin any ball bearings dry. They always have to have some lube. Spin them dry, you're looking to get scratched ball bearings or scratched races. So let me clean this up a little bit without spinning it and see what we got. Okay, I'm simply spraying this cleaner. It's carburetor and choke cleaner. You could use brake cleaner on both sides without letting it spin fast. It's moving a little bit, but it's not spinning fast. And I got it pretty clean. So now I'm going to let it dry. This cleaner will also dry very fast. And then I'm going to pack it with some grease. Let's see what kind of grease I've got. Well, Froggy's got this Kendall grease, which is probably almost as old as I am. So it's pretty old. And then I've got, I opened up my grease gun and I've got some red grease. I don't know, it's probably a Valvoline grease cartridge, or I'm trying to think of what else it might be, but I think I'll go with this. It's a more modern grease, and it is a chassis grease, but it might be more than a chassis grease. It might be a ball bearing grease, but all you guys and gals, keep in mind what I said. I said you want to get a full synthetic, high temperature, high speed bearing grease like the Redline. I think it's CD2. I could be wrong. Google it. Or that green stuff, that green grease that I told you about. I did see it in the auto parts store, and those are really the proper greases for these kinds of bearings. Okay? So you've been advised. I'm taking some air and I'm going to blow that solvent out, even though it evaporates pretty quickly. But I'm going to take 2 hands, but I'm just going to take air and blow it. I'm going to put my finger through the middle and then hold it and blow both sides, just to show you what I'm doing. I think I'm just going to take my finger and stick it in the grease and put some grease in there. Now, excuse me, Froggy's fighting the cold. Don't overpack it. Pack it like 50% full, I would say. Trust me, it's going to spread itself all around. It's going to get hot. It's going to get warm. It's going to run around there. You don't need to over-grease it. Just like when you're doing a ball joint, if you have a greasable ball joint, don't grease it so the rubber blows up like a big damn donut, okay? You don't need that much grease in there. Okay, there you go. Now I spun it both ways. You can see how the grease kind of grabs and turns around on itself. And I spun it the other way. And each time I spin it, the ball bearings are getting a little more grease on them. And excuse me, I'm taking a little bit off too. Might be a little bit too much grease in there. Sorry. Jeez. I don't want it to be flying all over my engine compartment, so I think I'll take a little bit of that off. But it's not on the other side yet. I'm not sure if there's a way I can get it through to the other side. So just use your judgment, but don't overpack it. It'll spread itself around once it starts spinning fast. There, I rotated it quite a bit, and I took some out of there, and I can see that each of the ball bearings has grease on pretty much all of it. You're not going to see it coming through the other side, although I can see. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if that shows up or not, but I can see the grease has come over to this side also. So I'm going to call it good and put the covers back on and put this back on the car. Okay, just press those seals back in with your fingers. You don't need any special tool or anything. Make sure you don't get any grease on the part of the pulley where the belt rides, because that could make it slip. And there you have it. Oh, I want to show you one more thing. Now I'm going to try and spin this. See, I got nothing. It won't spin at all, because why? Tell Froggy why. That's why. It's got grease in it now. So I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to do the other one. And if it doesn't work, Froggy will come back on and tell you don't waste your time. But I think this is going to be good for another many thousands, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 miles, I think. If that grease lasts. I think that grease is a pretty good grease. I'll have to go back to my parts store and I'll recognize it when I see it on the shelf. There's no way I can drag that out and read the tube without making a big mess, so I'm not going to do that. Okay? So, if this helps you, give me a thumbs up. If you want more from Froggy, subscribe to my channel. It's free. Froggy out. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Froggy just wants to show you how I got at that other pulley. Here it is. I just got it out. Because it's a little tricky, but you think you might be able to go down from the top on the driver's side. I don't think so. The ABS unit is in the way. But here's how I got it. I used this this torque wrench was actually a ratcheting torque wrench with the 15, and I reached across from the passenger side. I reached across and underneath, and I could just get onto that bolt. And because this is a ratchet, I was able to get it one click at a time. It was actually not very tight at all. I'm surprised at how loose it was, but that's the other one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to show it to you. It's basically, basically the same. Get some light on it. Same kind of bearing setup. There's one side. There's the other side. You're going to find the side that exposes the bearings. You're going to clean the bearings. You're going to repack the bearings. Let's see how loose this one is. See that? Spinning. And not supposed to be spinning, so that one's pretty dry. Okay? So that's it. I'm going to do this one. I'm not going to do any more filming on this one. I think I've given you everything you need to do it. With that little trick from the passenger side, reaching underneath the throttle body, underneath the big dome pulley there. I forget what you call that big dome pulley, and you can get on it. Okay? See you later. Froggy out. Bye bye. Froggy's got one more thing on that lower. Sorry about the music. On the lower drive belt pulley, there's a sort of a washer on the outside. There is also sort of a washer on the inside, and when I went to put this back in, I heard it fall down, so it landed on top of the spring. So here, don't lose this washer, because it has something to do with the alignment of this pulley, although this is a flat pulley, so it probably wouldn't ruin your day if it wasn't there. But I think that I just wanted to tell you that there's a washer on both sides. I mean, they're not really washers. I don't know what they call them, but look for that one on the inside too. It might still be on your car when you took this off, or it might have fallen down, or it might have come off when you took off the pulley. I doubt that, but two on this lower one. Okay?